You're listening to the Telltale channel. Don't forget to check me out on all social media: Patreon, Twitter, Teespring, and Etsy. All links can be found in the description or on my website, telltaleatheist.com. Hey, this is Owen. If you're comfortable, leave your first name and state at the sound of the tiny truck backing up.
Hello, my name is David, and I'm from Colorado, and I just have a quick question. With COVID-19 continuing to spike in many parts of these United States, and it looking like many things may be heading for a second shutdown, at what point do you predict the return of cart witnesses and the door-to-door missionary activities of both Jehovah's Witnesses as well as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka the Mormons? And how do you think both of these organizations are going to react to some of the long-term health implications that this pandemic has caused? Thank you very much.
That's a good question, and it's a hard question. I'm not really sure. So there's this unique thing with Jehovah's Witnesses where they believe that in the end times they're going to be forced underground. They believe that they're not going to be allowed to be themselves, basically. They're going to have to hide. Kind of like Jewish people in the 1940s. They had to hide. And Jehovah's Witnesses are convinced that this is going to happen to them. And they have been for decades, centuries even. So they have this whole system set up, like Jehovah's Witnesses do, where they can splinter off into sleeper cells, basically, called book study groups. Is what it used to be called when I was younger. I think now it's called service groups. And when they splinter off into these service groups, they each have their own established hierarchy who makes decisions and keeps control of their set of people. And they have this whole plan for exactly how they're going to preach to people, how they're going to continue preaching to people while underground, things like that. And they do that in China because, of course, religion, or most religion, is banned in China. I believe it's a nationally atheist country. But Jehovah's Witnesses are in China. They send them as missionaries to China to spread the good word there. They have this whole system of, like, keeping secrets and only talking to people in code and things like that. So Jehovah's Witnesses have been prepared for this kind of thing for a long time. And my suspicion is Jehovah's Witnesses will probably be willing to keep this up for as long as it takes. There's been speculation that the virus is going to continue causing us serious problems through the end of 2021. It's going to be with us for a long time anyways. It's going to be with us forever, possibly, but we're going to find better ways to deal with it so that not so many people die from it and things like that. Plus, we'll have a vaccine at some point in time, whether it's in a month or a year or 10 years. I think Jehovah's Witnesses are pretty much prepared to wait this out in their sleeper cells until the time comes that they can safely emerge. They are probably going to be doing their baptisms just like they planned in, individual people's homes, basically in secret, as though they're being hunted by the government, like they fear is going to happen. Now, as far as the Mormon Church goes, Jehovah's Witnesses are largely separated from the government, but Mormonism has more of a stranglehold on the government than Jehovah's Witnesses do. They're more involved in politics. They're more involved in voting and things like that. So they're more likely to get involved in a culture war. And if they're more involved in a culture war, what's probably going to happen is the Mormon Church will be more likely to go out there and start knocking on doors again before it's really safe to. There is the added aspect to this, though, that it's really bad optics to go knocking on doors when people are sick. You'll be less likely to bring people into the religion if you're doing it when it's unsafe. So I think they're probably going, both of them will most likely wait until there's high public confidence in safety before they go knocking on doors again. Jehovah's Witnesses, I think, are prepared to wait this out until the bitter end in hiding. And Mormons, I think, they'll start doing their conferences and their conventions and their meetings and stuff again when the culture war demands they do, which I'm honestly surprised they haven't already, since they're largely a Republican group.